Hi, I'm Carlos Garcia, and I'm running for Select Board in Shrewsbury because I believe that community should be at the forefront of all of our conversations and decisions. Since 2017, I've had the honor of serving our community in local government, first as a town meeting member, and now as the Vice Chair of the Finance Committee. Local government impacts us every day, and I believe that my years of municipal experience, my thoughtful approach to the issues, and my personal story will be an asset to me while on the Select Board. My mom and I moved to Shrewsbury when I was 5 years old on a Section 8 housing voucher because she knew that raising me here would lead to bigger and better opportunities than she had growing up. I'm a proud product of our public schools, and I'm proud to say that I'm the first in my family to graduate from high school. I'm also proud to share that my mom became a first-time homeowner in Shrewsbury in 2015 and then opened her own small business here in town a few short years later. I highlight these parts of my life because they're not only my family's personal success stories, they're Shrewsbury's success stories too. I'm running for Select Board because I want to work to ensure that other individuals in this community are able to thrive and succeed as well. Growing up in a low-income household for most of my life, I know firsthand the impacts that local decisions have on families like mine. And that is why I will work to make sure that we are making this community affordable so that all people feel included and welcomed here. Recently, we've seen an increase in distrust in our local government. And that is why I will work to make sure that we are being as transparent and accessible as possible so that community members and residents trust the decisions that their elected officials are making. I'm proud to be a leader on transparency. I'm the only town meeting member to publicly post my voting record. And I've been doing so since 2017, so constituents know where I stand on the issues. And you can view my voting record at garciaforshrewsbury.com. While serving on the Finance Committee, I've gone line by line through our town budgets and have advocated for much needed investments in areas such as our public safety, our public schools, and our public infrastructure. As a member of the Select Board, I will continue to be an advocate for much needed investments in our community that will enhance the quality of life. Being a town meeting member and a member of the Finance Committee has shown me the incredible challenges and opportunities that we face here in town. And that is why I'm excited to support and push on our work in implementing the 2030 strategic plan. This plan will act as a roadmap for how we want to see our town move forward in the next several years. While I full-heartedly support all 5 pillars of the strategic outcome areas, the following 3 will be my main focus. 1, in order to foster a more engaged and connected community, I will work collaboratively to find and facilitate opportunities to build interest and trust in our local government with all community members. In order to support a thriving community, I will work collaboratively to identify ways we can expand access and awareness of social services and work to reduce the stigma of receiving such services. And third, in order to encourage a prosperous community, I will collaborate with town leaders, business leaders, and community leaders to identify zoning changes that we can make here in town to enhance the vibrancy of our commercial districts. Public service is in my blood. My mother is a daycare teacher. My father is a custodian of a local public high school. My grandfather was a mentor to young people for over 40 years at the Boys and Girls Club in Worcester. And I'm currently an employee of the Massachusetts Attorney General's office. Our communities thrive when all of our people are uplifted. We have the opportunity to continue making Shrewsbury a more engaged, prosperous, and thriving community in the years to come. I would be honored to earn your support in the May 2nd annual town election. Thank you.
I'm Beth Cassant, and I'm running for re-election to the Select Board to continue leading Shrewsbury in a way that prioritizes community engagement and focuses on the quality of life people experience each day. For the past 3 years, I've worked diligently to guide our town government through the challenges of the pandemic while improving the way the town communicates with residents. I've been keenly focused on long-term financial planning and advocated for investments in public safety, infrastructure, mental health resources, education, and municipal services. Stability and consistency of local leadership is critical to the fiscal stewardship that is the hallmark of Autaran government. The Select Board has changed rapidly in a short period of time, with 3 new members joining since I was first elected in 2017. If re-elected, I will be the most senior member of a very young board, bringing the experience and understanding needed to continue leading Shrewsbury toward a strong future. I have a proven track record of successful leadership, creative problem solving, balanced decision making, and collaboration, resulting in the achievement of important goals and community-driven initiatives. To prepare for this opportunity, I went back to my freely speaking script from 6 years ago when I first ran and was amazed to realize that the goals I had set were achieved. Through proactive budgeting, we've added 8 additional firefighters to meet the demands of our growing community. By collaborating with my colleagues, the town manager, the school committee, and the superintendent of schools, a multi-year solution was developed to address the ongoing financial challenges caused by our structural deficit and to ensure stable funding for our municipal departments and our schools. I took on leadership roles in both successful debt exclusion campaigns to build a new Beale Elementary School and a new police station, finding long-term solutions for these important capital needs. 6 years later, there is still work to be done, and I stand ready to continue our forward progress. The decision we make as a community on Election Day will determine the long-term health of our town for years to come. We must reflect on what we value. The relationships that I have built with residents throughout our community will allow me to continue working with my colleagues on the board, as well as with those on other boards and committees, to identify our priorities as set out in our strategic plan and use them to guide discussions around goals and funding. The path we take must honor our track record of fiscal conservatism, but also realistically evaluate how to provide the highest level of service possible and reflect our willingness to invest in the future of our community. In good times and in bad, it is critical for those in leadership positions to have clearly defined priorities. If I am reelected, I will continue to seek ways to improve communication with residents and gather feedback from stakeholders to guide me in my decision-making. I will closely monitor our finances and engage in long-term financial planning, understanding that even modest tax increases pose a hardship for some. I will look for opportunities to protect and preserve open space and invest in our passive and active recreation facilities to make a positive impact on everyone's quality of life. I will prioritize sustainability as we implement our first climate action plan and lead by example as a local government on climate-related initiatives. I will take steps to ensure a stable tax rate and support expanded abatement opportunities so that more residents qualify for assistance. And I will continue to be a voice for investment in public safety, police, fire, water system infrastructure, mental health resources, education, and our high-performing municipal services. My ability to connect and collaborate with residents, listen to differing points of view, and find a way to compromise and move forward is what makes me an effective member of the Select Board. Your support and your vote will decide the direction our town takes. I bring energy and passion to my work on the board, take seriously my responsibilities as a town meeting member and as a voter in our community, and I am confident about the contributions that I will continue to make if given the opportunity. I'd like to thank Shrewsbury Media Connection for the opportunity to connect with the voters of the Shrewsbury, and I respectfully ask for one of your 2 votes on Tuesday, May 2nd. Thank you for your time.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. As many of you know, I'm running again for the Select Board, and I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to continue working for the betterment of this town. One of the things that inspired me to run again is the overwhelming support and encouragement I have received from our residents since the last election. I'm deeply touched by the letters and messages I have received. I'm humbled by the trust that you have placed in me. I'm a proud father of 2 girls, and I'm blessed to have a wife who is my pillar of strength. My family inspires me to work tirelessly to build a better future for our community. A future where our children can grow up in a safer and more prosperous environment. As many of you know, I am also passionate about using technology to make a positive impact on our community. Following my election campaign last year, I've been working on an artificial intelligence-based solution with the National Science Foundation that can help protect our kids, teachers, and police officers from threats such as gun violence in schools and other enclosed spaces. I come from a humble background, as I know firsthand the value of hard-earned money and the importance of maintaining a healthy standard of living. I'm deeply committed to serving our people, especially those with fixed income, low income, and people raising children with limited resources. I have been actively engaged with the Beale School PTO and board, several fundraising efforts, mass donation campaigns to protect the underprivileged during the COVID-19 pandemic, and many such initiatives. It breaks my heart to see the systemic issues that we can solve with good intentions and preparation are being overlooked or undetected because of a lack of effective leadership and teamwork. If elected, I will listen carefully to our town's problems, be transparent about how we address these issues, and measure the results for us to keep growing. That's how we make a difference, and that's how we will excel. Our town has immense potential, and it needs a leader who not only promises change, but also studies all aspects of change before bringing it. A leader who brings a fresh perspective like never before. As we take a closer look at our town's resources, we can generate commercial revenues and reduce residential taxes by leveraging the large lakefront we have within our town. We could offer our residents a boardwalk, or a river walk as they call it popularly, that attracts businesses and tourists. We can also provide in-town medical services that not only generate revenues, but will also ensure a better health support system. On the other hand, we can invest in the future of our kids, improving our education system. Some of you have suggested a vocational school. Point taken. We should include programs such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and machine learning, along with the vocational programs, by developing a new school so that our kids are prepared for the future of technology. We will also invest in medical research and start a culture of research and development for biomedical research within our town. With a Harvard School management degree and an engineering background, I have every intention to make Shrewsbury successful, leveraging science and technology. I am Rajesh Uppalapati, and I'd like to request you to vote for the change that our community deserves, rather than waiting for it to happen naturally. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration.
Hi everyone, my name is Siobhan Costello Weber and I'm thrilled to be running for Shrewsbury Select Board. First, I'd like to thank SMC for giving candidates the opportunity to introduce ourselves. If you're not familiar with me, I moved to town about 8 years ago with my husband Andrew and our 5 sons. Our twins were almost 2 at the time and our older boys were 4, 6, and 10, so you could say we had our hands full. I was also commuting hours a day to a very demanding corporate role, which ultimately led to a transition about 5 years ago into a career as a local real estate agent and subsequently as a real estate broker. That gave me not just more time with my family, Also, it created more opportunity for me to connect with local residents and small business owners and to become more engaged in local charitable organizations like Net of Compassion, Kindness Coalition, and CASA. Today, with my second career stabilized and my children much older, I've identified several areas of opportunity where I think a fresh perspective could offer a huge benefit to our town. Areas of opportunity like economic development, quality and reliable town services, and community engagement. What I bring to our community is a skill set backed by decades of proven experience. Experience with things like strategic long-term planning and long-term revenue generation. To be effective at that, you really have to be a fierce contract negotiator. You have to effectively manage vendors. You have to look across the landscape of all of the assets, whether it be a business or a town. Look at the cash assets, the physical assets, the people resources, and think to yourself, and with the group of the governing body, what is the highest and best use for these assets? And then work to optimize those. We have tremendous talent in this town that should be highlighted. Also, to think about our future and build, we really do need to strategically invest in what I would call multifaceted growth. And what I mean by that is that it's very difficult to take one project or one initiative in isolation. It is critical to look at all the different potential downstream impacts that we can foresee, never going to foresee everything, but really think about what might the unintended consequences be. What might become the ripple effect? It doesn't do us any good to fix one thing if it breaks three more. So coming together to build consensus and collaborate is essentially important. And in my career, I've often, very often, been placed in a role as an innovative change agent at some very traditional Fortune 500 companies. So as you can imagine, that requires a very delicate balance of consensus building with consulting various stakeholders who often don't agree with what is trying to be accomplished, and working through those challenges to reach an end state that is thoughtful and fully considered and revenue positive. If elected, I would be honored to put my decades of experience to work for our town and help bridge the gap between town leadership and some of the sections of our community that are feeling maybe a little left out or a little unheard. I want you to have a seat at the table, and I want to amplify your voices. To underscore that, I really want to stress that my motivation is driven only by the people of Shrewsbury. I do not seek a long-term political career. I've not run for political office before. I am not backed by any political party. I am a local business owner and a local mom who only wants what's best for this town. So as an independent and critical thinker, I will always put your needs first. Thank you so much for your consideration, and I would welcome the opportunity to earn your vote on Tuesday, May 2nd. Thank you again.